Hey there, nerds. Jasmine and Brandon here with your video game news for the week.
So we got some more Arkham City news.
Oh,
I know
do
you
we?
instantly are like ready to go. But there's new skins announced. There's a ton of new skins announced. There's the 70s theme, like a blue cape and like the yellow symbol.
Awesome.
So sweet. There's my favorite, the Dark Knight Returns one. Frank Miller, it's like a huge arm.
I cannot wait
Batman.
to just beat people up.
Right?
As Frank Miller's Batman.
I'm just gonna pretend everyone's Superman.
You got Batman
Just beat
Beyond.
the crap out of him. Oh, that one looks so sweet.
You
'cause
got
can
Batman
fly.
Inc.
That's a newer costume.
I like
but
that. I
the
like that.
Batman Beyond one's cooler.
But the coolest surprise is actually the 90s animated Batman.
series Batman.
And it looks
His
identical.
face, like it's not sculpted or anything.
No,
he has like the
it's the
wide
same
eyes.
animation.
Like, it's an animation, just 3D.
And you know what?
It's so
That was
sweet.
my biggest issue with Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, there wasn't
Is that there
much
wasn't any skins, and I'm a huge fan of playable skins.
Easter eggs
in-
and all that stuff. There was a lot of Easter eggs in that
Oh,
game.
Easter eggs,
but it
that
was
game,
more of
that's all
like
it
just
had,
visual
but-
things. This is like you get to interact with these characters in different ways.
Yeah, but I love that. Yeah, you have options of costumes, and with someone like Batman, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah,
Like,
he-
I want to play as Batman Beyond, or I want to play as
Yeah, he has
you
him
know-
and Iron Man are like the most versatile costume-wise. Maybe
So
maybe the
this is
Wasp has
just-
more costumes
exactly.
than comics, but really.
But no, this man, I'm
So
so,
cool.
happy. And
And
on top of Robin and everything else we've seen,
Nightwing, right? Nightwing's in it. Catwoman's
I have
in
not
it?
heard anything about Nightwing.
Oh no, Nightwing was an
Nothing
old
about
rumor.
Nightwing,
My bad,
but
guys. My bad.
I just love that this is what we're getting with this Batman game. So,
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
in case you didn't know,
I'm gonna have to like pre-order like 14
Super
copies
excited.
of this, so just
oh,
to
I've
get
got
the
it all
skins.
mapped out.
Yeah, I know you do. Let us know what you think, though, guys.
And if I couldn't already be more excited for The Dark Knight and Arkham City, it turns out that in Arkham City, you'll actually be teaming up on a mission with Bane. How cool does that
That's
sound?
so sweet. You fight with him, not against him.
No,
That's
you're
so
running
sweet.
through Arkham City with him
with
having
him,
your back.
Yeah, he's helping you out, which is sweet. And
Oh my
like it comes out of
God.
left field. I guess it's kind of cool because the Bane being like the main antagonist.
Well, especially after how it ended in the last game.
Yeah, with the Venom.
Yeah, like, oh,
Spoiler alert, sorry,
man,
guys.
this is gonna be good.
It's been out more than a year. It's not spoiler.
Yeah. So even more exciting news, and it's cool that for those people that aren't familiar with Bane, you're gonna get a view of him in the game before the movie comes out. So awesome.
So stoked for this.
All right, so EA Sports has got a new program they've got. They're calling it the Season Pass, and what it is you pay $24.99 a year. It's just one base price for the whole year. You can even do it through Microsoft points, which is pretty cool. It's also available for PlayStation 3, though, so don't worry if you're a PS3 fan, not a Microsoft fan. And what it is pretty much is, if you do this, you'll get early access to games, extra bonuses when you get games, things like that. So you'll still have to pay for the games. It's not like you're gonna have pay this one fee, you get all the games, but you'll get a lot of bonus stuff for subscribing to this subscription.
I like that it's only $25 for the whole year.
Yeah, that's a really nice
I
price.
really thought that was going to be like the monthly fee.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. $25 for the whole year, and you get to play these games early. And I know people that play sports video games, they are into their sports
Yeah,
video
exactly. I mean, if you're hardcore into this, it's $2 a
Yeah.
month added on to, especially if you're a Microsoft person. Then
Exactly.
you're already used to paying a fee for every month. It's $2 more.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal to be able to probably get some really good stuff. They haven't announced everything that you're going to get from it, but from the looks
You
of
get
it,
to
if you're a
play
big
games
fan, you
early.
get cool stuff.
Like
yeah.
how cool, you know how many Madden people are going to lose it because they
Yeah.
get to play Madden a couple months early?
Seriously.
This is a smart move.
It's a very smart move, and it's good because it's even more, because I mean, of course, EA has no issues of securing their financial stability, but it doubly secures it. They're making sure not only are you going to buy the games, now you've got this extra
You're
thing
gonna
that's even
continue.
making sure you're going to buy them.
Yeah, to buy the newer games. So.
Yeah, and so that way you're not just, oh, I'll just stick with my Madden 9. You're going to be like,
No,
I've
you're
got to
like,
get the
I
new
gotta
one.
buy the new one because
Yeah.
this is awesome. So.
Yeah, so it's a very smart business move, very well done, and it's a great thing for the customers as well, so I'm all for it.
Okay, so this comes as no surprise to anyone. There's going to be a Borderlands 2.
Yeah, you could see it coming with the sales that game got. It was obvious what was
That
gonna
game
happen.
is ridiculously awesome, and it has a fantastic soundtrack, and I love the idea of just killing things in the desert.
Yeah.
That's all you need to make a good game.
Yeah, and so, I mean, with how successful that game was, how awesome that game was, you knew there was going to be Borderlands 2. I mean, the way any media field works, if it goes well, you're getting a number 2.
Yeah.
And I think that game deserves a number 2.
I
It
agree.
was good enough done. The studio did a good enough job with it. You feel that you can trust them to make a good number 2.
Oh, certainly.
So, I mean, I'm not too worried at all about how it's going to turn out. I'm actually excited because this seems like it's going to be a great idea.
Me too. Something else to pre-order.
So Diablo 3 is coming out, and holy crap, it looks awesome. I didn't play a lot of Diablo in high school or anything when it was out. A lot of my friends did though, and I've spent a lot of time watching it. But they have an in-game auction house now. So that way, if you have an item and you want to get rid of it, you can actually get real money for it. So your work is paying you. It's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, so the way it works is there's always been a sort of in-game auction house, but it wasn't really like big deal because it wasn't real money, it was in-game currency, but because it wasn't a permanent online game, which Diablo 3 will be, it'll be mandatory always online. It is an online game, this one, you can't do it solo player. So the in-game market has a lot bigger prevalence, but also there's two different markets. One which is just you use in-game currency, which the hardcore players, that's the ones they're limited to. They also have permadeaths. The casual players, because there are two different settings, you can use an in-game market that uses real-life currency. So say I've got like, oh, I found the Staff of Adalar or something like that, and I'm like, I'm gonna sell this. I can put it up for $3, and you get like, they're not sure how they're gonna do it yet, but say like I get 10 free posts per day, and then after that I have to pay like 50 cents or something like that, and then you're like, I want that staff. So you have with Battle.net set up your debit card. You're like, I bid $3. You get it. I get $3 plus a little processing fee gets taken away, and I can either put the money into Battle.net, which then I can use to buy later on, or you have to retrieve it right then, because otherwise it gets legal issues with bank stuff. But you can get that money in your bank account. So pretty much you can make money off of playing this game, which is a brilliant idea.
I'm gonna grind all day.
Yeah, seriously. Cool thing though is a lot of people are like, oh, you're just encouraging the Chinese RNT market. They're still going to monitor that.
Yeah.
They're not giving up on that. They're like, if it turns into an issue where it's like people who are obviously grinding for like, and it's illegal, you're gonna get shut down. But you can still just be doing that kind of thing where you're like, oh, well, I'm playing all my extra items, I'm gonna sell and make some money, and they're completely fine with that. And also, it's a brilliant idea from them. Like, Blizzard is a genius because Diablo 2, it's like 10 years old, and people are still selling stuff illegally on eBay and stuff like that and making real money. And now, one, that market is gonna be stopped on eBay. So it will only be done through the game so they can monitor it, make sure everything's okay, make sure nobody's getting screwed over for their money. There's no gonna be issues with like, oh, I bought this item and then they screwed me over by canceling the account before I get it, but they still took my money. Instead, they monitor, make sure it happens, and Blizzard's going to get a continued investment through this, which some people may not like, but it's business.
That's
and
how
it's
the
a
games
great
keep
business
going.
idea.
Yeah, like
so.
I love Blizzard. I don't play too many Blizzard games, but I love them because they know their fans. They take their time with their games. Like StarCraft 2, like how long was that? Like a couple
years.
Years and years and years.
Yeah.
But it's a great game. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like they really put their heart and soul into it. Wow, they revolutionized modern MMORPGs with that game. Like that's the standard, and now we're finally getting games that are kind of like competing with it.
They respect their fan base. They know how to run a business properly, so they're not going to go out of business. And they just do things right. They make amazing games. So I am all for this. Even if I'm not a WoW fan, I still respect what they do. And so let us know what you think in the comments or the forums, because we'd love to hear your voice. But I mean, I don't see how this is a negative thing at all. So in excellent 3DS news, they are cutting the price to $170.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's such an epic price cut. The coolest thing though is they're being very responsible about it in the fact towards their fans. Because like you often companies will cut the price, and if they have to cut it early, they're just kind of like, well, that's what happens. But they're being really responsible. They're being like, okay, you were the ambassadors. That's what they're calling them. So it's kind of like makes them feel special right off the bat. They're getting 20 free downloadable games.
That's pretty awesome. That's how you treat your customers when things go wrong.
Yeah, that's how you treat your loyal fans. Granted, they're Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, so they're older games, but still 20 games.
Some of those games are awesome. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so it's not like, I mean, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance had an amazing run of games. So you know you've got a great selection, especially since their store has a pretty good amount on there. So it's not like you get 10 free games out of 11.
Yeah.
So it's actually doing really well. The depressing thing though is why they did it. The sales were not what they thought they were, so much that the president had to cut his pay in half.
That's really, really respectable though. For you to make $2 million a year and cut it in half to $1 million because you blame yourself for something not selling, that's totally awesome.
Most business leaders are like, it didn't sell well. Blame the lower ones, fire people, cut people, stuff like that. He's like, we're sorry. I'm gonna take a cut. We made a mistake. We're here to fix it. So I'm all on board with this. Nintendo, good work for being responsible.
Right? Makes me want to buy a DS.
All right, that's going to do it for our video game news this week. But in the meantime, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We'll see you guys next week for even more video game news.